And we are live. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, happy time zones, wherever you might be. I'm Emma. Welcome back to the House of Hubris here on twitch.tv/Saracent. And welcome to Slay the Princess, which, as you may gather from this opening screen, is going to be a little heavier than our usual fare. I'm very excited for this. I've heard nothing but good things about it. But let's just clear up going in. This is going to be stressful. Uh, First of all, thanks to Charities Lady in chat for gifting me this. Very kind of you, and Abby, this is your fault. And also, thank you for the 41-month resub, which is just... That's a ridiculous number. But yes, so, we are starting off with the content warnings. This is a horror game, and it's not intended for all audiences. Please visit our website if you need a full list of content warnings, and you don't even have to find that yourself. If, as it says in the little bit I've put at the top of the screen, if you put !princess in chat, you'll get a link to their content warning page. Potential of minor spoilers, but obviously more important is that you take care of yourselves. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions has caused motion sickness in players. Excited for that. If either of these cause health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Love that. We stand accessibility options in this house. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. I'll be the judge of that. So yeah, I have kept myself almost entirely unspoiled on this, because I've been excited about this since it came out. And I knew I would be getting to it on here sometime. And now, apparently, it's the time. It's June Halloween, right? Sure. That's a thing now. Let's go for it. Yeah. So I guess let's just get into it. Also, if any of you recognize the kind of art style and didn't know already, this is Black Tabby Games is comic writer and artist Abby Howard and her husband primarily. And her art is amazing, and she does all the art for this game, and I am very much looking forward to it. Also, it's apparently fully voiced, which will be good for my throat, and not everybody will be from the southern states for no appreciable reason. Before I blather anymore, let's just get into it, shall we? Is there any more stuff I usually do at the start of these streams? Jesus Christ alive. Yeah, so this is a horror game. Thanks for the main menu jump scare, guys. I was just talking about your art, and then it's like, so you want to see it from closer? I mean, I didn't. Okay, let's just get on with it. Shut up, Emma. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
The classic setup. Also, what are the icons I have here? Settings, saving, book. Oh, right, dialogue history. Makes sense. Also, I say we stand accessibility options in this house. There are so many of them. Love it. Anyway, as we were, we were establishing a mood. Ooh, that's what the parallaxing is. They've depth mapped all the backgrounds. Oh, I'm going to be far more pleased by that than I really should be.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
It is the title of the game and all. Ooh, dialogue options already. Oh my god, we're back into arguing with narrator. Plan. End of the world, what are you talking about? You consider that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Yeah, that seems like a reasonable critique of carceral justice. Killing a princess seems kind of bad. Can't someone else do this? Forget I'm not doing this. You consider that maybe I'm okay with the world ending. Do I get some sort of reward? Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. I've always wanted to offer Monarch Vive la Revolution. Continue, turn around and leave. I mean, I assume explore tag responses aren't going to, move me on.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics.
Uh-huh.
You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Uh-huh. Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I'm not convinced of this logic, but sure. You consider that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
I mean, you could have led with that.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
I mean, two things can be true. Actually, if the menu icons are going to be there, I will just move this across. And then I will center it because it being nearly centered but not quite. It's going to annoy me. Nope, that is not what center vertical means, Emma. There we go, thank you. I understand words.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
I mean, in any given situation, causality doesn't matter here is quite the take. It doesn't matter why I'm telling you to do these things, only that you do these things. Now stop thinking about it.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I mean, narrator makes a good point, but still, killing someone. Can't somebody else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for both of us, you're the
You weren't watching my last streams then. You're surprised that I'm arguing with the narrator, you're not paying attention. Ugh. Away, bots.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Yeah, but you do seem to be an omniscient god voice in this situation, so... I'm not going to just turn it... Do I get some sort of reward for this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward.
You're not...
Just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
You are not the most convincing debater. Omniscient narrator voice. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Because, again, have you seen my other streams? I seem to do this a lot.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Yeah. No. Shalim is.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Again, begging the question somewhat. I mean, this is still tagged explore rather than just ending the situation, so let's see. Yeah, I'm not doing
Are you
this.
serious? No, you have to do it.
Do I, though? Okay, so I no longer have the Vive la Revolution, but I do have other things. This is going to be a lot of dense dialogue treeing that I'm going to nerd out over, isn't it? Okay, look, I'll go to the cabin, and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
You must not listen to the enemy or begin to comprehend their points, or you might start to disbelieve what you've been told.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
I mean, each and every one of us is doomed anyway. Come on now.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Narrator, I'm not sold on your tone.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Quite a nice little setting.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Oh.
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Okay, didn't think we'd get a voice outside of dialogue trees, and also, that is the same actor as the narrator, isn't it? Jonathan Sims, I see you.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I have no option to not proceed. Depth mapping.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
What? Okay, who put the blade here? Because if everything else is coated in dust. Also, this art is lovely.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I mean, this is still explore.
You take the blade from the table.
Oh, it's my cursor
It'll be
now.
rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I don't know, I could be a master of unarmed combat. Basement time.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Weirdly judgy narrator? What do you think this is? Pathfinder?
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Ooh. Love things that play with text formatting.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I mean, you are coming into her house. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you? That's just too funny for me not to click, to be honest.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
As ever, new game, now I think about it, if there's any issues with the audio levels or anything, please let me know. Because the sound design and voice acting in this is already really good, so...
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
Why did I have an element of surprise, narrator? I thought this was all supposed to happen the way it is. They're a bit soft compared to me. Let's jack the voice volume. I'm so used to games automatically being just super, super loud.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Credit Robert Oppenheimer, 1944.
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Also, I might just turn the... I just realised I've still got the master volume on the game set really low, so let's wind that up a bit. See how it is now. I'm currently just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat.
I mean, I'm not necessarily convinced of that, but...
Don't you dare.
Especially because that chain is absolutely long enough for her to come over to where we are.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Well, definitely help with the game volume compared to my voice. Yeah, like I say, I normally have it turned down because games are super loud so often. But yep, thanks for the information. Yeah, we can put the knife down.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Wow, we are being very judged.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
I've had worse. A relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Yeah, fair point. I was just doing the bit. I'm here because you're supposed to end the world?
Don't just tell her that.
You already knows we came here to kill her. Well,
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
okay, yeah, this VA is just... mwah.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
And why does she only sound mildly inconvenienced by that?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
And now we come back to a point I think I made it at the time, but it was like 3 years ago when we finished Mass Effect 3. And it's a point I've made about the ending of that a lot, where people complained that if this thing's so powerful, why can't it just do everything? And it's like, power to do one thing is not necessarily power to do other things. Like, if you could be totally capable of ending the world, but still, like, human-bodied and chained to a wall. But yes, have they told us? No. I was hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
It sure turns out the halo effect. Exactly, yeah. Someone capable in one thing is not automatically good at others. And, I mean, here I'm risking running into work stuff because I literally spend my career telling the DWP about this. The fact that you can do X thing does not mean Y thing. No, I am not ranting about my work on stream right now. Come on, let's play the game.
I believe her.
Okay, well, that's the decision made, apparently.
She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
That's... yep.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world. but they didn't tell you why.
I mean, the omniscient voice is here, so, you know.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you, either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
Each other?
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Wait, is the you here the hero still talking to the narrator or talking to us?
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
The voice of the hero is talking to you, the body with agency and access to a knife. Yeah. But, I mean, I assumed the hero was the one accessing the knife. Here we come into the complex thing of the relationship between player and avatar. I'll see. I'm sure I will. No spoilers, please. You know that.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
I mean, yeah, nobody's here is. I don't trust any of you. I've just met all of you.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world?
I mean, less and less.
Or do you trust whoever...
Yeah, wrong button. Accidental right click. Am I going to keep doing that?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
I know none of those things for a fact. What's your name? The princess seems, you know, awkward.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
You're losing points here.
Again, she offers no specifics.
Do
no matter
you?
how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Excuse me, narrator. Do I look like I want a straight answer for anything? How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Specifics, everyone. Theoretically, how would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
Then why are you so worried?
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Oh! Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? Is it going to get very grim?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
I mean, the ominous music would suggest so, yes.
She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough on account of I've exhausted the entire dialogue tree.
Oh? Have you decided what to do with me?
I mean, decisions aren't historically a thing I make.
You know why you're here.
Do I? So, Slay Princess, I'm getting you out of here. Or I'm going to keep you locked away down here at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. That seems like the least ethical option possible. I feel like when you have encountered this situation, you're kind of obligated to do something with it. I think we all know my opinion on, like, words. Involuntary, restraint, that's the word.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
See, the more you put on the puppy dog eyes, the less I trust you.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Also, I like the fact that "oh, you have to be kidding me" was clearly further away from the mic. You could hear the narrator just being like...
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I can imagine lots of things, narrator.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Getting to it.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Yeah, I'll check upstairs. Maybe it's around. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break it free.
I'll be here.
Yeah, correct. That's
You
the
attempt to
issue.
make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Let me out of here.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Alright. Thanks for locking me in this room,
You make
narrator.
your way
See,
back to the
you do
bottom
have
of the
some god
stairs.
powers.
This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Yeah, don't love the narrator being like, why are you making this so hard for yourself and also all of us?
Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Truly, we are all the princess.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I mean, probably for a number of reasons. I am predisposed to fight the narrator.
Against your
Yeah,
better
yeah.
judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Yeah, this is some art. Also, what's up with our skin? Why are we all scaly? I mean, I feel like that shouldn't necessarily be the thing we're focusing on, but we're like... And we've got leaves. Did we wake up in the forest because we're from the forest? Because we are the forest? Just calling it here. Again, no spoilers, please.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work.
Yay!
Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
Like we said, horror game. Content warnings. Also, not only is the cursor now holding the knife is bloody. That's a very nice, very neat choice.
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
I'd know so many fierce gays. You're going to need to narrow that down.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Alright.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
I can do what I like.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Again, leaves. And very dramatic fingernails. Interesting.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Also, I need to stop looking at stuff in the corner of the screen, so I'm turning away from the mic and also kind of holding my hand over my mouth. Because that's not a good viewing experience for anyone. Anyway, again, narrator seems to have a lot of god powers. Could just be doing this himself.
Watch me.
I do have one option.
Stop that.
Hey, look, you gave me the dialogue.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Oh, well, that's some threatening font.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back. but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
Sorry.
Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
But what if not?
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
God, the VA is reflecting the kind of tone and font changes as well as. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of me being a voice acting and writing nerd, I can tell.
I'll make this quick.
Well,
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
alright, yeah, because the knife has leaf motifs as well. Leaves. But we're like a dragon person. And as somebody who is, currently playing a dragon person in between season 5, season finale dropping soon,
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
well,
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
it was interesting. Chapter 2. The Prisoner. It continueth.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm probably going to start at some point skipping through dialogue we've already heard, but, Aha, we have things. Oh, yeah, I just like opening with, oh, you bastard, now I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around.
Ooh.
I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
Okay, so is it a situation like where it says voice of the hero? That's not the particular weird forest dragon person that we were embodying so much as the heroic ideal, and these are kind of other voices, in the words of Robert Smith. Now we have the skeptic.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
And I mean, the fact that they're all the same voice. Yeah, are all of these just my Disco Elysium voices?
And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
I mean, anything where all your characters are called the noun is just gonna... Well, either you're a Metal Gear Solid game, or it's gonna take me to kind of mid-century modernist theatre where everything is archetypes and ideals. And that's the kind of pretentious dramaturgy brain I'm usually in. Alright, let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions.
Are
but
they?
Fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Often is.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
I've got video of it as well.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
No, it happened because I couldn't move and I was stabbed with a knife. They are not the same.
The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess.
Is it?
You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do. which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting.
Couldn't be me.
But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
Just gonna scoot myself down a little so I'm not in the way of the text and that. There. Just so you can get the full experience of the text, even if you don't have sound on for whatever reason. Also, did you try and free the person that I'm telling you is a world-ending threat? Were you mean to me? Don't seem on the same level, and yet they're both being presented as reasons why I might have killed you.
Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything?
I mean,
If
not
you're
quite
asking
that
that,
accent.
It sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Again, you're making some logical leaps here, my mans.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
I don't know, in the sense that we're having this conversation because it happened.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of
Not what
how
that means.
you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
I know that, like, popular usage is the arbiter of correctness. But also I do feel the original meaning of begging the question has, like, still has a use in discussion, and the fact that it's been entirely replaced by the way everybody uses it now is a shame.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
I don't know. I was dead.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Or are we looking at it in a, like, from out of game standpoint, where that world ends because we died, and without the protagonist to exist in it, it doesn't exist within the story and thus ends? Oh god, I am just going to be talking about like mid-century French theatre all the time. I'm sorry, this was my degree, it's burnt into my mind.
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
See?
Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are.
And this is why I say that the classical, logical, like, rhetorical meaning of begging the question has an important use, because this is what it means, this kind of circular reasoning where everything makes perfect sense once you take my postulates to be true. And if you're not allowed to look at, examine them, that's what begging the question is just assuming an answer and basing everything else off that.
You're talking in circles.
See?
No, I'm talking in facts.
Also, now that I've scooched myself over you, I'm dramatically gesturing with my other hand, and it wasn't on camera. I don't know why it's important that you see my gesturing, but hey, I do enough of it. Can we talk more about the princess?
Just be quick about it.
It doesn't seem likely. Ah, yes, we do have new things. The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her, and all she did was slit my throat with a knife that we gave her. How is she supposed to end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Again, blind faith, not a fan.
You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for?
Any kind of information?
Literally anything.
Thank you.
Fine. Check your pockets.
Oh, we have pockets.
You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front.
Well, this is convenient and hasn't just been introduced by the narrator. Proper look at the Deus Ex Machina in your pocket.
Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
I'm less convinced, especially because, as far as I can tell, you are all versions of me, or at least versions of this avatar, so would have the same handwriting. Also, our handwriting is terrible, and that's coming from me.
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting?
Especially given that you've shown you can control our body.
I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
Like, what would happen if we broke the rules? Would it be any worse than, the world ending? Because that's what you're presenting on the other end of this scale.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk.
No, you're not meant to agree with that part. That was a rhetorical question. It was a test and you failed.
I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Who locked her in that basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods.
Because we're dealing in
Don't
archetype.
overcomplicate things.
This is every path. This is, not even every path, because that's, trying to collapse too many multifarious things, but this is the archetype. This is the path in the woods. And it's a basement where she was locked by people. People locked her away. Why couldn't they do this? Why is it my job?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Oh, you're willing to
You're
say
the
things you're not
only
meant to
person
now.
capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Hero, stop being seduced by the prospect of being the chosen one, even though that's your job.
Of course you're special. Why
Hydrate
else
and
would
stretch.
you be
Thank
here?
you for the reminders.
Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me? I mean, a lot.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
This is another one of the things I do harp on about a bit, but it's like a point I have had to make many times. If information will overcomplicate a simple situation, all that means is the situation wasn't actually simple, you just didn't know about it. I am very much in favour of knowing about things, she said, shocking everybody.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something,
Because
but
you
you're just
explicitly
going to have to
are.
trust me here.
Sounds like I'm hiding something because I am literally saying to your face that I can't give you more information. Fine, that's all, I guess.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Is it, though? What if we just don't? What if we simply do not?
I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. What about her? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
I don't know where I'm going as it stands. Okay, that's just a good line. It's like I said, I'm pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own, because I'm Jace Bellerin.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Go do.
That's strange. It looks like this path
Of course it does.
also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
And whether this is a case of narrator being able to reality warp some more, or just, of course this leads to the cabin, because you're on the path that goes to the cabin. It's an archetype, it's self-defining, like, the function of the path is to be the path that goes to the cabin. Why would you be able to take that path away from the cabin? This is the path to the cabin. You can walk any direction you want on it, but it's the path to the cabin, so that's where you end up. Turn around again and leave again. Doesn't seem likely to work, but I do lots of futile things.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't
Yes.
you?
Yes, I
It's
am.
remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
My analysis of this is everything you'd hoped it would be. Good, because you're going to be getting more of it, because this is exactly the kind of thing I can't not let crit, and I've been given a microphone. To be clear, I paid for this microphone. On which note, has my microphone been moved slightly? I think it has. I think I might have knocked it when I was putting another camera stand up. Yes, everyone dies, sure.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Which is the path to the cabin, so, you know.
Wait, something isn't right.
Ooh.
Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Again, supposed to is doing a lot of lifting in this.
What's going on? Where are we?
Well, this visual effect is nice. By which I mean quite unsettling.
Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
I thought this was like wood or smoke or something. Is this hair? Is this going to be like we zoom out and it's the princess's hair? Because it kind of looks that way. Or it could be wood. Or nothing. The world around you is unwound. Physical matter replaced by textured nothingness. It's quiet. It's not that quiet. There's a lot of ambience going on here. There's a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. Fingies. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. I've read fic like this. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. I've written fic like this. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. There's a lot to unpack there. So yeah, this is our avatar being rejected by not being enough of a blank slate avatar. Also, I need to look up who did the music for this, because this sounds like Holly Herndon or someone, and even if it's not her, it's exactly the kind of thing I like. Yeah, so... But what's not clear is whether this is the narrator, whether it's the princess, whether it's... Is there only one entity here that, like, the narrator and the princess and the hero and the skeptic and everything are emanations of? Interesting. This is very much like the player being like, oh, I don't like JRPGs because you don't get to properly build your character. Oh, it's Brandon Boone. That makes sense. Does the nightmare wake up or embrace the thoughts constricting you? I've read that bit. And I think we've got to now that I've made that joke. Urgency. You have a story you need to finish. It's the only way for us to escape this place. Force pushing against your will. No. You cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. Okay, so it is meant to look like thread, which could well be hair. I could absolutely see them doing that. A wagging finger. There's only so much thread in this place. Don't waste it. I am our only salvation. Because, yeah, are we back into fairy tale motifs? Oh, God, because there is a grim fairy tale where somebody spins their hair into gold, isn't there? Because I know they're spinning straw into gold in Rumpelstiltskin, but I might be misremembering that. Keep it in mind. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, we're back to chapter 1. The hero and also the princess.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay, now we are going to start
and
skipping
at the end of
dialogue a
that
bit.
path, you're here to slay him.
Yes. Ah, note you can skip previously in dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard or R1 on your controller. Lovely, then I won't accidentally skip anything we haven't seen. Okay, so... Right, we are back to actual chapter 1. What if we just get very enthusiastic about this? Let's just explore some possibilities, I guess. Yeah, I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Vive la Revolution.
That's the spirit.
Okay, your approval fills me with shame, narrator.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Okay, but can I still... yeah, history... yeah, okay. I don't love holding tab to skip through everything because my memory is bad and I won't be playing this all. I might just be clicking through text. Okay, and we didn't resist at all before, so we have no choice but to proceed. Actually, did we have a choice before? I can't remember.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely the blade.
Yes, we know.
Is your
We know. What if we don't take the knife down there?
The door to the basement creaks open.
Yes,
Her
yeah.
voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing.
Oh, that's
It's the
new.
kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I mean, if it was that dangerous, would its Steam reviews be so good? Checkmate, narrator. Checkmater. I like that we have, I'm here to save you, and lie, I'm here to save you. Yeah, we'll go back to... I think this run is just going to be very enthusiastically agreeing with everything everybody tells us. You're here to slay a princess? Sweet. Is there someone there? Hi, yeah, it's me. Let's not think too hard about it.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
God, it must have taken so long to record all the VA for this.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes
Yes,
with...
we know.
She's beautiful.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
We've not met, narrator. Never stayed focused in my life, and I don't intend to start.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Yeah, right.
You're only making this more
Just
difficult.
enthusiasm.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Wouldn't be the first.
No, you're doing the right thing. walk up to the chains binding the princess. They're large and heavy.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Really
Maybe
don't.
it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess.
Yeah. There isn't a key. Do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
It doesn't seem likely.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Nah. Not this time.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
We should actually.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
This is a solid argument.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement.
Is someone else here?
In again.
You try the door. Your shouts. You're here to slay the...
Yeah, same stuff. Tell you what, actually that seems like a good point. Something dramatic is probably going to happen in one way or another when we go back down the stairs. So, hey, I'm going to take a short break. Mostly because Twitch wants me to do these things. So, yeah, I'm going to go and get some more water and run some ads and generally do the self-care things. You should do them too. Get up, move around, have a drink, have a snack, take your meds if you need to. This is a reminder. Also, I've just noticed that the dialogue box, it's the same hair question mark texture and the leaves we've been noticing at the edge of things. This probably has implications. Anyway, yes. Self-care things, drink, snack, meds if you need them, and go and question the forces that tell you what you should be doing with your life, I guess. Or don't. Ironically, in this case, I'm not your mum and can't tell you what to do. But either way, if you could let the ads run, that would be great. And I will be back in a few minutes for more of this, which isn't rad, y'all. Alright. See you in a few. Bye. And we're back again. Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome back to Slay the Princess, where we may or may not be doing that thing. And yeah, we came here to slay the princess, and then we didn't, and she stabbed us, and then we tried to escape, and the world decohered. You know, we've all been there. And now we're back and being very enthusiastic about everything, no matter who says it. Also, many incarnations of the same manner telling us what we should be doing, and we've all had that. Just your regular reminder, if you are just joining us, this looks maybe not as sinister as it is, but it is very much still a psychological and existential horror game. Take care of yourself, and if you need more content warnings, as it says at the top, !princess in the chat to get a link to the full list. Anyway, let's go back to the bottom of the stairs, I guess. We don't have a knife this time. It was gross last time. I feel like it might be more gross this time.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
I mean, easier for who?
Easier for whom?
Oh god.
Easier for everyone.
I'm being read.
Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yep.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
Again, lots of this scene are the same as how it played out before, but we're getting interesting extra comments here.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely
Good
hesitates
job,
before
Bob.
raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
You could have done that before if you've been down here so long. I wouldn't have had to watch, that's for dang sure.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bouncing metal.
Where presumably the narrator has just opened the door and thrown the knife down.
It's the blade from upstairs.
Yep.
You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
We did that before.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I didn't. Will it just take us onto the same route, I wonder? Probably. I mean, we can always skip through old dialogue.
Fine. Against your better, you cut.
Okay, yeah,
The
this
blade
is
sharp,
the
and it takes
same.
little. Her limb falls to the ground.
She didn't so much as utter a...
No.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
But this time she has blood around her mouth.
How is she still smiling after?
Thank you.
Yeah, this is just all going to be the same, isn't it?
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high.
I'm going to hold tab and see
You
if
can't
this
just
is
let
stuff
her
we've
escape
seen again.
The world. No.
No, pressing
can't
tab is
just
doing
let her
nothing.
Escape into the world.
So technically we haven't heard this.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Or is it just not being counted stuff we've seen before because, like, there are some slight differences?
What are you doing?
I mean, let's see what happens, I guess. No, what if we don't? What if we
Stop.
resist futility?
Something's come over you,
I don't
hasn't
know,
it?
this is being presented new.
You know you don't have to do this, right?
I guess because we didn't say going in that we were there to kill her.
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess
Ooh.
dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
I should really not be making any assumptions about whether things will play out the same, should I?
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, because I was saying, what are we, some kind of dragon person? But yeah, of course we are, because it's fairy tales, isn't it? It's the dragon and the princess, and these are the kind of interorbiting archetypes across so many Western folktales. The princess being imprisoned by the dragon. And, in theory, threatened, but nothing ever seems to happen. I assume that's where we're going with this. It's the Bowser Peach dynamic, you know?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Yeah, because and she's like being nervous and nice to us because that's how we were to her.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
But she was much more efficient with the knife last time.
Oh no!
Because
I'm
we
so
came in
sorry.
talking about death, and the story gets what we give it, I guess.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
Have we?
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again.
The Bowser
and
Peach
again
dynamic is my
and
prog rock
again,
band.
And you feel every
I can get
inch
behind it.
of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry!
There's some art.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
No, because we didn't come here talking about killing, and we came here, we treated her like the innocent princess, so that's what she is in this version of the story.
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is,
Interesting.
does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I mean, you say a stab wound is still a stab wound. There's lots of kind of degrees to that. Human body can take a surprising amount of stabbing if it's not kind of in the right places. Just saying.
I'm so sorry!
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Meanwhile, Rivulets of Pink is my sapphic metal band.
It can't just end like this. right?
It doesn't seem likely.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
This art rules.
Everything goes dark. And you die.
Again. Chapter 2, The Damsel. Okay, so we only went back to chapter 1 when we
You're on
rejected
a
the
path
story
in the
entirely.
woods. And at the end of that path,
But now we're at
is
a different
cabin.
chapter 2?
And in the you're
Yes,
here
yes, I
to
know.
slay her.
Yes, sure. Also, does the history have, like, anything about routes I've taken? No. It's like, okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all.
Yeah, so is the... Because what was... Chapter 1 was the hero and the princess. And we treated her as a dangerous prisoner. She killed us, and chapter 2 was the prisoner. We've treated her as a damsel in distress, and she killed us, but chapter 2 now is the damsel. So are we just kind of going through the archetypes and dynamics that we're playing? Kind of theatre within theatre, roles within roles. If you've just joined us, I'm a pretentious theatre nerd.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Okay, that's still Jonathan Sims, isn't it? But for a second I could have sworn our new person was Matt Berry. And yeah, so we were skeptical, and then we gained the archetype of the skeptic, and we were going to rescue a damsel, and now we have the voice of the smitten.
Our beloved?
Just dulcineering all over this.
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
I love how done the narrator is. I imagine this will only continue.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
4. So we've got the smitten, the hero, presumably still a skeptic. Or maybe another... interesting.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
It really does.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
That's a take. I mean, we've had this discussion before, but also now we have a new voice here. I'll skip through a bunch of this dialogue, I guess, but...
Those are two very... Let's
yeah.
say for a moment,
Yeah.
if you're back here, I must...
Yeah.
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Again, not technically true.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ.
He is doing a very good Matt Berry.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations.
Okay, so... You've made 2 mistakes here, and the first is trusting me to make decisions, and the second is assuming I have common sense. Sorry, my mans.
Anyway, I believe your second question...
We heard
What do you mean?
that.
Of course there weren't any...
Heard that.
Yes, but if
Heard
it's the
that.
latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived... She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
Why does this man live in my head, oh god?
Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Yeah. What if we continue trying to save her? Because I don't think we actually went any further here. I think this is just where we were like, nah. And with them.
That's right, you can't stop all of us.
You probably can.
We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
I don't know this man.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with?
If we have the same goals, then
You're
yes.
not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Do we have more to say about the princess now?
Just be quick about it.
Oh no, we did. Yeah, but there might be more stuff on it. The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How's she supposed to end the world?
She just can.
Yeah, we had this.
Maybe
like...
it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Please stop saying words.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
If she was inevitably going to find her way out, and she's, as I have been told, been down there for a very long time, why would she not have done it before I got there? Come on, guy. Locked her in that basement. What is this place? I mean, this led me to just go on about archetypes a lot, but...
People locked her in. Look. Oh. I didn't know we were special. Of course you're... Calling
yeah.
us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
We're the chosen one.
Oh, believe
Hurrah.
me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
Go,
we've
not to
been
sound like a
through
broken record,
this.
but the less you... Great. Now, if you...
Fine. Turning around and leaving just resulted in the world ceasing to be.
A warning before you go any further.
Okay.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I mean, I don't believe a word you say.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game.
Don't speak for me.
It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
Okay, now I'm more on the narrator's side. You see what you're doing, Smerton? Just stop.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I think all of you do.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Must they?
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
We proceed.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
And because we treated her as a fairy tale damsel in distress, it wouldn't make any sense for her to be in the basement of a random cabin in the woods. So the story follows that. She's a princess that's being kept captive that needs rescuing, and those are always in castles. That's how it works.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This whole cabin is not what it was before.
Very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
I'm not convinced you were there last time around. You exist now because the archetype required it. Oh god, I'm going to start talking about Hexwood, aren't I? No. No, that could take up an entire stream, so I would just say, read Hexwood by Diana Wynne Jones if you like this kind of thing. Just, less horrific.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Again, you're talking to the wrong person, my mans. You didn't say anything about the mirror when you were setting the scene. That's just bad GMing.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
I have a button for this.
Nobody asked.
I don't think that came through properly on the voice mod, but sure. Maybe it did. It's also the best button to press in Zoom calls.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
The party will ask you to disbelieve the evidence of your own eyes, etc., etc. Not to make the obvious reference, but you know. Why would you lie about that? What's the point of it?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something?
Oh no, that's
so
not where I was
obvious?
going with that.
What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
I mean, self-observation is an important thing. Approach mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Oh yeah.
This really isn't funny.
Video game mirrors, am I right? Wipe mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I mean, I'd know how ridiculous I looked if there was a mirror, narrator.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
We have feathers? Yeah, no, the mirror is gone now because the narrator didn't think there should be a mirror. I'm gonna keep rejecting the knife, I guess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Again, weirdly judgy. OMG, you're a chicken. I mean, some kind of dragon seems like currently the more likely thing, but I guess giant chicken is possible.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Somebody stop this man immediately.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little
Thank
too
you.
far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yeah, just don't be weird about it.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Uh-huh.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
But now she has a floopy dress and a nicer tiara.
My love, we're here to rescue you from
Stop.
your unjust and
Stop.
foul imprisonment.
Please, please.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Okay, so we're getting confirmation that all of these voices are not kind of like external, but within the context of the thing.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
See, she knows we've been here before.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
Not the bit to focus on.
And she called us a hero.
Also not the bit to focus on.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
It does appear to.
Waiting for you to come back.
Ah, finally.
I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
I'm sorry. This is next to incontrovertible evidence. All you've done this entire game so far has been tell us how nothing she says can be trusted and we mustn't fall for her lies. But now as soon as she said a thing, oh, it's incontrovertible evidence.
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
I mean, this man kind of has a point, but he's also being weird about it again.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure
Which we have on
want to
whose
do this?
authority?
Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Again, I was agreeing with you and then you kept talking. Make the salient point and then stop, my man.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Like this line. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
Uh-huh.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
God, she's so chirpy in this incarnation.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's the voice of a woman who's been through a lot of loops.
That's because she's perfect.
No.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Maybe.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Uh-huh.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
No. You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Not particularly.
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
I age greatly every time you speak.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I don't have a knife. Do I have to cut you out again, or will somebody throw a knife at me from Omniscient Narrator Land?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
Exquisitely unsettling VA work right there.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
Because no matter how realistic the chains are, it's the symbol.
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Okay, thank you, hero. All these voices in my brain just have one brain cell that they're just smacking back and forth between them like a shuttlecock. And so they each get it for a millisecond at a time.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
And this guy is terrible at badminton.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted.
Uh-huh.
So go ahead and slay her.
Uh-huh. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
After I died, I died. Yeah, but before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
No. Can we go back to version of you that knows anything and isn't just chirpy damsel in distress, please?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Just whiffing that brain cell.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, it's not. That's not what words mean. People are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all. Oh. I'm just... Yeah, these are exquisite options. I don't want the world to end. I'm about the world ending. Or, you know what, sure, burn it down. Well, I said we were being enthusiastic. The world sucks, people are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all.
I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a misanthrope.
I'm mostly doing it because it annoys the narrator. And to see what happens. This does feel like a push button, see what happens game.
Lucky for you, I did destroy the world.
Oh, cool.
I destroyed all of it and made it awful for everyone.
Sweet.
I'd point out that she just admitted to obliterating the entire world, but I guess that wouldn't actually move you. Oh, it moves me. Whatever we do next, we should do our best to not let her out.
I have lost the hero's support.
But have you seen her angelic face? She should get a pass. She just wanted to make us happy.
And I don't want this guy's support.
By destroying the world? Apparently, yes.
I'd said we were going to be very enthusiastic about everything, no matter how much sense it didn't make, and yeah, I feel like we've got the internal voice we deserved.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I would if you had a weapon.
What? Oh, damn it, that auto advanced. Even before I clicked. Because it interrupted. You want to take over our body and force us to try and kill her.
Not on my watch, villain. My
Hubris,
passion
yeah.
contains titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Okay. Pump the brakes, my man.
You wouldn't. I would.
He would too.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That
Because we made her
shouldn't have
dainty
worked.
dainty damsel
Be damned.
princess.
We're doomed. I can't believe it, but I guess I have to.
Yeah, because they're not leaves coming in just at the edge of our arms there, they are feathers. Are we like a kind of accurate dinosaur kind of a dragon?
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
That's a take.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
I'm reasonably sure I'm not a chicken, just looking at the hands, the kind of scaliness. But actually, I say accurate dinosaur. T-Rexes were big chickens, basically. Like, I'm glossing over some major differences, but in essence, I'm right.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved.
I mean, I've clearly got massive claws.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
Kind of just want that isolated clip.
What do we do now?
What do you want to do? I mean, end the world, probably.
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
What is my rank of cynicism? I think I'm at least like a colonel.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
What if she's becoming more of a person the more personhood we project onto her?
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
Oh, I've just worked out what that joke is. John Weir. That doesn't really work. I see what you're going for, and I appreciate it, but...
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Oh, is this because we're trying to get her to express individuality rather than projecting anything onto her? She's just trapped in a kind of mauvaise foi thing where if nothing is projected onto her, she doesn't have anything to be.
She can't just want to make us happy.
It makes sense to me. That's
Shut
what
up.
I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Peace. There. You need your own thing. You've just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me. This is good advice, people. Just, yeah. This is good advice.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
Again, no. Those anime eyes are getting even more horrifying, and she is just losing losing her, I guess, like, semiotic depth.
Is she broken? What's going on?
The world seems to be decohering again.
What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
I don't think she is lying to us. I think she just does that if we give it to her. Yeah, doing this is just gonna make the world break again, isn't it? But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Yeah. God, and now this is taking me into another thing that is forever in my postmodern lit crit nerd brain, which is Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man. I'm not going to go into depth on that because it's a good story to experience if you don't already know it, but it deals with a lot of this kind of stylistic stuff.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
But this is just going to be an ending again, but I do really want to see what happens with it. I want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
What in the Doki Doki Literature Club? Alright. So yes, those were the Void Hands that took us away the last time we refused to go with the story. You don't get the chance to ask another question. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place. And again, mirrors as the motif because she's taking what we project onto her.
No. She was our perfect match.
Shut up!
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
I can't believe she was taken away from us.
The nerve.
The narrator's gone?
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
I think it means the story ended, which is the same thing.
A villain vanquished.
No. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror, if only because there's no other continuation option in this dialogue tree, and also there's only one other object in existence right now.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
And yet,
Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
I mean, preening is easier with a mirror, my dude. Well, mirror time.
I'm begging
Chicken?
you, don't
Question
do
mark?
this.
Ignore. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. I thought we'd get more. Can I scroll back to that? I thought we would get more on that image. Yeah, so we are definitely leading into the dragon imagery. You're alone in a place that's empty. Well, this is the bit we saw before when we broke the world, right? Oh, we can proceed to the cabin. Yeah, this is absolutely hair, isn't it? Because this whole world is just an emanation of her, because she is the story. You're at the cabin. She is here, the world is made of hair, she's surrounded by what appears to be a fire made of hands, you know. Tuesdays, am I right? Approach her. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It's the entity that dwells in the spaces between. Interesting. So what, we didn't give her anything of ours to be an avatar of, so she's become an avatar of the nothingness?
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Also, when did this... Just wondering when this game got written, because... Very specific reference, but this... I don't know whether this... Because she would have... Abby Howard would have been in the right kind of internet circles for Blazeball memes to have potentially crossed over, and this either feels influenced by or vice versa the depiction of the shadows in a lot of kind of Blazeball fanon. But that's an entirely different can of brainworms. Yeah. Wow, there's so much more. You're that thing I met in the space outside of the woods, aren't you? I thought that was a dream.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Oh, now that... I know I've been nerding about the writing in this so far, but that, just on its own, I am solitary lights in an empty city. My god, that's an evocative phrase. There's layers of meaning there. I approve. Also, it feels like a Mountain Goats lyric. Solitary lights, what do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
Also, this feels very Alpha Centauri. But again, that's because that has molded my brain for my entire life. I don't know what I am. I'm not going to say what do you think I am, because then we're just going into mauvaise foi again and trying to be externally defined. But in truth, I don't know what I am. It's been suggested I might be a giant chicken. Would you care to comment?
I think that you are like me.
An entity from beyond moving avatars in this world.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Like, say, emanations, in the kind of mystic sense. What do you mean, the gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
Yeah, like, say, inhabiting an avatar.
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
I mean, I was saying it as a process, not a simulfactive, but hey. Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
That doesn't answer my question.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
I mean, that means you couldn't have done it intentionally if you're only just conscious, but you can do things without being conscious of it. Are you the princess?
She is part of me,
Yeah.
and part of me is her.
Emanations. Yeah, but were you always the princess, or are you just now making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
I mean, often yes. Like, I've tried that argument on the traffic police, and it never seems to go down particularly well. Let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never
Stretch,
be undone.
yeah.
There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Because yeah, because if we're in kind of the infinite, then there's no way for there to be external emanations of something that exist in that space, because it's like if you take a jug of water and you pour a glass of water from it, then you have a jug of water and a glass of water. And if you pour it back the other way, you don't have a glass of water in a jug of water. You have a jug of water. And if you put the entire glass in, then you still don't have that. You just have a jug of water with a glass in it. This is an important distinction, I suppose.
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
I'm not sure that really means anything at this point. What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception.
There it is.
She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Go and do the different routes so I can reabsorb different versions of the princess. And kind of embrace multiplicity. Aren't you scared I'll find a way to kill you? Eventually?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
What does death even mean in this kind of space? How much would I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
Okay, so we're going back to chapter 1 is what you're telling me. How many more pieces of you do I need?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Video game saying, look, don't worry, you don't have to 100% it. This is like the completionist Mass Effect achievement where it's just like, look, 80% will do. It's a big game. But yeah, so just the idea that once we're kind of over a critical mass, the jug will be full. I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do? I mean, I think we might already be past that point.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
And again, we're in that image of fluidity. Yeah. Okay. You're. I don't like being like I've been a massive nerd about the writing of this so far, but I don't love being semantic. This feels like another one where I'm just being a language nerd and like popular usage. But what she's doing here is leaning on semantics. Like being semantic is just saying things that mean things, which I think we just call talking. So yeah, what are you going to do if I help?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Because how could a fragment of the infinite know what the infinite would do? Yeah, that's fair. And what if I don't let you make me forget?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Yeah, that does not sound like a great stream, I'll be real. But I do have the option to wait. I kind of want to see what happens.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
I have a button for wait forever. And you can't give me a button like that and not expect me to press it.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would
That's what I will
return
go
before
to.
forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
I have a button and this channel is all about hubris. Correct! Also, that... I know I keep stopping because I'm distracted by a really beautiful phrase, but these sentences are good. They're reminding me of a lot of reading This Is How You Lose the Time War. But then I suppose you've got the same thing of kind of interorbiting like archetypal, undefined entities of unknowable power.
If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage?
Oh, we are getting meta.
You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
If that first sentence hasn't been just extensively quoted on Tumblr already, what are we even doing with our lives? Like, seriously. And yes, that just killed the game. It's the classic. Where I see that I have 4 achievements, which are currently Denial, Return to your destined path or face the consequences, and They lived happily ever after, It's all she wanted, The Body, It's you, which was where we looked in the mirror, and The real Slay the Princess starts here. You'll know it when you see it. Alright, I am going to actually take a short break, because this seems like the perfect moment to do so. So, yeah, I will... Yeah. Sorry, this is giving me a lot of thoughts and they're getting jumbled. But I'm going to go and take a short break, run some ads, get some water, all of the self-care things. You know, you should do the same. Get up, move around, have a drink, have a snack, take your meds if you need to. And, I don't know, swear devotion to an entity you can never truly know. But alternatively, don't do that, I'm not your mum. And just let the ads run, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes, when we will see what happens when we go back into Slay the Princess. Yeah. Yeah, wow, brain. Okay, yeah. See you in a few. And we're back. Hello, everyone. We're in the void, because we're back, but the world isn't. Because we said we'd wait in the void forever, you know. Normal hours. But let's get back into it and see whether we slay the princess this time. How hard could it be? Yeah, just note again, as I'm sure the content warning is about to come up, this
You have
is...
returned
Whoa,
to me.
hello.
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Just hard cut into that. Yeah, reminder again, if you're just joining us, this is a horror game that goes to some dark places, so be aware. And yeah, there you go. Thank you, as just demonstrated in chat there. Exclamation mark princess takes you to a full list of content warnings. But yes, hello again. Whatever I'm calling you. Void. No longer any choice to wait forever, because it's just like, if you've come back, then why else would it be? Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die, with the sound of a mirror smashing. And we're back to chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods.
Yes,
You're
yes, we
here
know.
to...
And yes, we don't know. We don't have any more information. Alright, let's see what happens if we just agree with the narrator all the time. Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Bye.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. Ignore him. He doesn't...
We've heard all of this. Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely... The blade is your implement.
Cool. Blade.
You take the blade from the table.
Basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase...
Yes, we know you don't like this basement.
Who's there?
Oh, now we are in threatening mode, because we've said, oh, okay, cool, we're going to kill you. And we are projecting the more monstrous image onto her already.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Just continue.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
I'm listening to the narrator for this run and seeing what happens. Press button, see what happens.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Also, I thought as that scene transition happened, the screen flashed red for a second, and I was like, what is the thing? Kind of, what is this signifying? What's going on here? And then I realized that no, I just blinked and have a bunch of bright lights in it. I'm a functional human, or possibly chicken.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on
yes.
the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Apparently. The narrator told us not to talk, so let's go with that.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Now we are just a knife.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
I mean the knife.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you could end the if you could end the world with, say, access to a computer and the computer is upstairs and that's why you're chained up in the basement, you know, we're not necessarily saying that you are all-powerful without any implements or anything.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
But I've expressed my views on finding things out.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I am both effing A and effing O here. Oh, we can actually just start questioning the narrator here. Are you sure she's not armed?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Well, we've already seen that she can just bite through her own arm like it's nothing, so,
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
It's the title of the game.
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck.
I really thought she'd just go for biting.
Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time.
Igford just die. Nah, we're doing what the narrator tells us.
With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
I mean, not really. Like, we're going in there. That's not classically where your heart is. But you know.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding
I guess
out.
it's more over to the side than it looked in that shot.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
I mean, no.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, I'm less inclined to trust the narrator all the time. Just saying. Chapter 2, The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So what do we think our other voice is going to be? Like, the voice of the killer? Something like that?
You're here to slay her.
Yes, we know. I already slew her. Like, she killed me, but I got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. People
Can
don't
you?
just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then...
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
The cheated. Alright, okay, so our takeaway from that isn't I am an instrument of death here to slay the enemies of the voices in my head. It's she had a knife? Well, that's not fair. That's not how the story's meant to go. I like that that's our takeaway. It says a lot.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
I think that's even less likely now than it was before.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. When we asked you if you were sure she didn't have a weapon on her, you said you were positive she didn't.
If I hadn't questioned that, would it have been true? like, did that change only exist because we raised the question? Because, again, it was like the Void said, with imagine her able to do this and she can, because we're projecting that onto her. So, the moment I was like, well, what if she has a knife? Then of course she had a knife, because we raised the possibility of her having a knife.
But it turns out she did, because when we charged her, she started stabbing us to death.
And that's why we're the cheated now.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
I mean, we've already done all of this dialogue, but we have a new voice now.
Those are two very... Let's say for you died last. We did Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare, in which case I shouldn't be held accountable for what supposedly happened.
Oh yeah?
But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the line.
Yes,
What do you mean?
yes.
Of course. Yes, but in this purely
Yes,
had you
we've had
failed
this
to save the
discussion.
princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else. She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save the world in no time at all.
Good old stiff upper lip. A concept that's never led to anything bad at all, especially when said by upper-class British men. We talk more about the princess?
Just be quick about it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely. We killed each other last time. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again? How can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to her.
No,
Don't talk
very
to
much
her,
did.
Trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
Oh, and don't get stabbed while you're at it.
Excellent advice, thank you. What she did last time around was stab me. How can someone like that end the world?
She just can. But she's still only a princess.
Yes, yes. We locked her in the basement.
People lock-
Archetypes. Why couldn't other people play her because we're
Oh.
special?
Of course, if anyone's special here, it's her. That was a nasty trick she pulled on us.
What aren't you
Told
telling me?
Everything you...
You didn't tell us about her knife last time, though.
That is true.
That's because she's unarmed. And more than that, it's because there wasn't a last time.
Didn't happen, couldn't happen, and anyway, shut up.
Great. Now we...
Proceed.
A warning. She will lie.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't
I
we?
want to see what the inside of
Say
this
you're
cabin
lost,
looks
but I'm stuck
like
here
now.
with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful.
It's going to be full of booby traps, isn't it?
Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Because we've imagined the possibility of knives around every corner.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards,
Huh.
their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
These windows are also as uninviting as shattered glass on account of all the shattered glass.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's go to the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Oh yeah?
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe, wipe.
You reach
And then it
forward and
disappears.
rub your hand against the cabinet, but there was a mirror a second ago.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place.
This whole cabin's different.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been. So focus up. A lot's...
Yeah. Fine.
You take the blade from the table.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
Let's go with the program again.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
Because we treated her as monstrous.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
And by telling us.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
What's that post-processing on that? That's weird.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Correct.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
This is... Sorry, I'm getting distracted by philosophy again, but this is another point I do find myself bringing up a lot. That a lot of people seem to have very strong feelings on that are almost never constructive. And it's just the concept that if you're different now, that means you were acting before. And it's just like, no. People change. And even if people don't change, their behaviours change, and that's what actually impacts the world. So many places where people are like, well, okay, but now you're like this, so that changes the truth of what you've been all along, and nah. Like, yes, it can recontextualize it, but yeah. Anyway. And especially if you project
As you
murder
descend
onto
the final
people.
step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room.
At least she has a skylight this time.
I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
Or maybe she wants to sound like T-Pain.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Uh-huh. God, I have so many options. What if we're both honest with each other? I was sent here to stop you from ending the world, and you slashed my throat last time.
That doesn't sound like me.
Increasingly.
There you go again, talking up delusions about a past life experience that clearly didn't happen. Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember, right?
Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
I mean, in Lost Ark. Less the hero for knowing his limitations. Yeah. If I come close to you, you are just going to stab me, aren't you?
What? No, I wouldn't stab you. I am just a sweet, innocent princess trapped here for no reason. And you are a brave knight who's supposed to walk up to, not stabbing distance to help me.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
That is a war crime.
Excellent timing, thank you.
She certainly feels threatening. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job.
Especially because the more you second guess yourself, the harder it becomes to do it, because your views and behaviours are concretely impacting the world. But the fun thing is, that's almost always true of all of us.
But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
We might as well just go through it. Do you remember what happened last time?
Last time, if somebody came into my house and tried to kill me and I cut his neck open and then he stabbed me in the heart and we both died looking in each other's eyes, well, surely I would remember that.
Yeah. Sounds like you would.
But I don't remember it, so it must not have happened.
That is exactly what happened, and you do remember it.
Would I just lie? Would I just lie to your face and tell you a thing I remembered happening didn't happen just so I could stab you again? I mean, just so I could stab you for the first time.
God, she's really selling this.
Aha! She slipped up there. She said again, and her taking it back doesn't count. Do you hear how deranged you sound right now? Please stop dawdling. This is only going to end with violence. Postponing the inevitable is only going to make it worse for you when it actually happens.
I know you have a knife. Please drop it. Hope these VAs had as much fun as it sounds like they did. God, yeah, this must have been great to record.
A knife? What are you talking about? I don't have a knife. Where would I keep a knife?
Your hands are behind your back.
And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would be so silly of me to cut you open and look at your insides.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood. Fortunately for you, she isn't armed.
Well, prove it then. Prove you don't have a knife. Not that that's how it works.
It would be so much easier to prove that I do have a sharp object. I could just show it to you.
I mean, she makes a
But I
good
don't
point.
have
This
one,
is
so I can't.
how the burden of proof works.
The princess smiles as she pulls her hands from behind her back.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But look at this! Hands! Hands that don't have anything in them to stab you with!
Her smile stretches into an even wider grin as she shakes her sleeves.
I do not have any knives in my hands with which to stab you shirt is raising a lot of questions that should be answered by my shirt.
And empty sleeves, too! Look at how few stabbing implements I have. It's practically zero.
Okay, this writing rules. Yeah, what if you're just hiding it somewhere else?
I've shown you all of my hiding spots. What kind of princess do you think I am? I would never hide something sharp somewhere secret.
I mean, I think you're exactly the kind of princess I think you are. I think that's your function.
Wait, that sounds like I'm lying, but I'm actually not. My secret zones are for me, only they have nothing to do with you or my intention to not stab you to death the second you get close to me.
This is amazing.
Her smile drops for a moment, her expression sharp and flat.
I assure you, there's nothing hidden there.
I'm inclined to believe her on that one. She seems serious.
You literally just said you were bad at spotting liars.
Of course, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have something hidden somewhere. We know for a fact she's armed.
I mean, as much as anything else, she's got a very heavy iron chain she could just kill us with. I would like to trust you, but you are being so suspicious. Like, comically suspicious.
That's so rude of you, passing judgments on strangers you've never met just because they're different from you. How would you like it if I did that, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Please say something about me, because I'm not entirely clear on who/what I am.
Silly little Birdface thinks he's
Birdface?
so serious coming down here but doesn't know anything. Thinks he can tell me to get rid of all the knives I don't even have while he gets to wave one around right in front of me.
And also, even if she doesn't have a knife, if she knows how to handle a knife better than you do, then you don't have a knife. She has a knife. That's how it works. If you're going to carry a weapon, know how to use it. I mean, let me be clear here. I am emphatically not advocating people carry weapons, but hey, if you need to for self-defense, then at least know how to use it. Because otherwise you don't have a weapon, they have a weapon.
I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
I mean, I'm not believing many things you say, so...
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her?
I mean, how many more things are there in this dialogue tree?
We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance. Oh, I'm sorry, do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now?
Kinda.
You're acting like you are. My entire world is at risk.
Yeah, but, like, that's on a level with everyone else, so you can't really put that into the calculus.
Then maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way.
Okay, now I'm not with you, because I'm not encouraging self-deprecation. Like, I know I do plenty of it myself, but I am trying to stop. It's not great for you.
No, I have my dignity. Fine, and we'll continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
Can we just talk things through? I'm sure this would go great.
But we don't have anything to talk through. We're strangers and this place is cramped and annoying and you should just come over here and let me out.
Uh-huh.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats getting stabbed to death.
I mean, I do, because this is very good dialogue. I don't have the key.
Oh, you don't. Okay, I see. I have an idea. You should come over here and stare directly at the chains. You won't be able to find a key if you don't know what it's supposed to look like, so you better come right within close staring distance just to be sure.
Staring distance, huh?
Okay, I'm bored now.
She's bored? That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. She's... Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion.
Jesus!
So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all.
That's an image. Yeah.
How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do?
Die, probably.
At least we're safe here. She's still in chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion.
Yeah, we've already covered how a blade could help her here, so...
And then
there we
she
go.
Slices through her arm.
God, that's a picture right there. Wow.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe here.
You think?
She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace. Ah, shit. Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it. And use it you do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you are horribly outmatched.
What did I say? You don't have a knife. She has a knife.
You keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand and, with it, your only line of defense.
Oh, my curse has changed because I don't have a right hand anymore. Oh, that's great.
She's even better at this than she was last time.
Yes, that's because you imagined her being better at it.
Bloody cheater.
I'm going to kill you now.
Oh, okay.
And with a squelch, she does just that.
I mean, I appreciated the warning.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
That's happening a lot lately. Chapter 3. The arms race. Get it? Get it? Arms. Because...
You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin. Your what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
Just overruled.
I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I?
Because that's what you thought
Isn't that
about.
interesting. Who holds the cards now?
The circle's getting smaller and smaller.
Ooh,
Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
new voice.
What's the point of
New voice
fighting
is.
if she's just going to win every time? It hurts being sliced to pieces. We're better off just sitting up here and doing nothing.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third?
Well,
No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right, that's too much responsibility.
I couldn't agree more. We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person, let alone the fate of the world.
that is not productive.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure. You take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world.
Ah, this GM is just increasingly done with us.
This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
She's right behind us, isn't she?
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
And what if we never do?
So, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to?
Ow.
I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right?
Uh-huh.
But there isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore.
I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
I mean, the existence of a mirror, I feel like vision is the most important sense to trust there, because it's there. Like, touch? Sure. Taste? I guess, maybe. Smell? Sound? Eh. What does a mirror smell like? Well, let's approach it and find out.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us. I'm sure we all look awful after dying twice.
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
I care about what we look like. It's been something of a preoccupation. And the dialogue agrees with me. Reaction clip!
You
Oh,
reach
there goes
forward
the
and
mirror.
Place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
It was never there. Just an illusion.
It was an illusion!
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Unintentional, like, of whom?
Your body tumbles
Suspiciously
onto the basement
specific
floor, and
thing.
the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Wow, yeah, that is the look of somebody who isn't even pretending not to be made out of knives anymore.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore.
And more of a robot.
But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying all over again.
Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
What are you, the IRA?
Nothing bad has come of it yet. plenty bad has come of it, you've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
I mean, I've seen no evidence that there are more than 2 people there.
The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
Ah, somebody else has ADHD, I see.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
Yeesh.
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
I mean, it seems only polite.
Shit. She's coming for us, and I'm out of ideas.
All of these ideas suck. Think of something better. I mean, that is just going to get us killed. I mean, this is the try and kill her route. Let's just... Well, no, we've proven we're not better at killing. These ideas suck.
Yeah, that's right. We just have to think. There's probably an answer if we think.
Just standing there, huh? A bold strategy.
Let's see how it pays off from Carl.
You don't have time to finish your thought. In a moment, she's across the room, blades flashing in the dim starlight.
Yikes.
She skewers you.
Well,
Ow. What a surprise. Yeah, we don't even get a second to think
Oh,
without her
Skeptic's here.
stabbing us. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I think we're dead, and that's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead.
dying and being dead are not necessarily the same.
This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
Like, 4?
This is 4.
Yeah.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
Thanks.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's
Oh
gotta
my
be a point
god.
where it makes us
Cheating
better
is such a
than her.
power gamer.
As long as we keep moving.
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more crowded. Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of chance.
Come on, show me something new.
Okay, plan now.
I mean, we've got to click the flirt with knife lady button, right? That's that you've seen my streams. It doesn't work, and she kills you again, and again, and again, and again. Your memory blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades.
Ah, Smith is here.
There's nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
Thanks.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. We just have to hit her harder.
Oh, 7. You're new.
She skewers you.
And she's just getting more and more made of knives every time. Look at those teeth.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
Then you skewer yourself.
Well, that was a move.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh. That didn't do much of anything.
Dormammu, I'm here to
Which
bargain.
I thought.
Yeah, not wrong. Ooh, contrarian. There are so many of me.
Just panic. Flee.
And the paranoid.
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up.
And again, she's getting drawn with less detail, even as she's becoming more monstrous. Like they're leaving in construction lines and things because kind of, again, it's loss of that semiotic depth of, we've decided that this is the image, so there's less elaboration on it.
Okay, let's go again. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels.
Cold.
She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We're getting better.
Are we?
Okay, yeah. That was a good one. Let's appeal to her better nature. We
Opportunist.
haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time, that's all we need. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
That went well. Chapter 4. Ooh, mutually assured destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here. Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand. Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window?
Oh god, this is one of my internal voices.
Over my dead body.
What if we simply did this? Makes no sense, but you know.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
This is also one of my internal monologues, but I have major depressive disorder.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
I disavow all knowledge of this man.
I'm sure I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything.
Paranoid's getting it.
The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top.
Make your own jokes.
There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time.
Again, that interruption auto advanced. How about you stick to describing things and we'll stick to doing them?
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
The GM has lost control of this campaign.
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only... It's more of a slide? We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
Players don't do this to your GMs. They're part of the game too.
Don't care, just want to win.
God, but yeah, we are
Make
just
your way
power
to the
gaming.
basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
I mean, probably not.
I'm not going to wait for an answer.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you. It's worth it, though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Because we've started thinking of her as Murder Machine, and now that is all she is.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing.
Make your own jokes.
Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts.
I said I probably didn't want to see it.
She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Okay, the way we got here was gross, but this is metal as hell.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Unlikely.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine.
Again, not. Suddenly I'm feeling the need to read Hyperion again.
Yes, behold the perfect woman.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
Maybe.
That looked painful.
True.
How is she still alive?
Don't focus on that.
Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
Yep, because the heart is the symbol.
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up.
That doesn't seem constructive.
She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
She has an exposed heart.
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
Woof.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
God. Yeah. This is me. Wow. Okay, everyone, shut up.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Yeah, I told everyone to shut up, and we're back in the original basement. Ooh. Hydrate and stretch, an excellent point, but also I want to see what happens here. Yeah, you shut up too. And now we're in the void.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
I think you may be past the point of that. You do not act. And yet through that inaction your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else. Oh, we've achieved enlightenment. Wait, we achieved enlightenment by shouting at our other, incarnations of our other selves in an enclosed space. Is this Revolver by Guy Ritchie?
You're incredible.
Thanks. What, because I worked out that link? Your weapons clash again and again. You and her are entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There is only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly building crescendo and then an opening. Your blade strikes free of volition and hers strikes too. Both strikes are lethal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. And then she gets stolen by the Void Hands. You do not get to see each other die. Nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Mirror. You do so. Gaze into reflection. Silence as you reach towards the glass. Time for you to see what's in it. You've grown. So yeah, dragon. Sadly not chicken. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. The cabin. Go and talk with Hans some more. You're at the cabin. Hello.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
Yes, I know, we're going to be finishing soon. I just want to get to the end of this.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
This picture is spectacular. Like, I've been going on a lot about the art throughout this, but look at that. Look at that. Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives. and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer? No, you just need to learn how to have Lit-Crit brain more.
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Because to try and distill itself down into words would still be a lesser emanation, and as we've established, those don't work here. Does it feel to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was.
Ansem Qualitharam.
I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment,
Yep, that's fair.
all I want is to know myself and to know you.
I'm not going to promise to kill them. There's... Okay, this is a real shame, but I am probably going to have to finish sometime. We can do like 2 more dialogue things, but I want to see these. When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can't I do the same things I'd done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own.
Right.
They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Right, so good to know it's going to stop us going down the same route again. I like that we have both these options. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you, or why? I think, as I've been trying to teach myself IRL, thank you is the right answer.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
I mean, you know, sentient beings have a long history of not being kind to the things that aren't them. Yeah. No, I do actually... Annoyingly, we're going to have to start in hot with the philosophy and emotions next time. Because I do actually need to go. Because I need to remember that when I tell people my stream is until 5, so I can then schedule things at 5, that is, you know, going to cause some time pressure. I'm very sensible and know how to manage time. So, I've just got time to do the wrap-up. We will be back with hand, knife. All my brain was going to give me there was hand, knife, hand, wife, which I'm not sure is the energy we're necessarily going for. Seriously, that art. But yeah, quick wrap-up. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thanks for staying to the end. It's been a lot, but this game rules so far. For me, might be the energy. Okay, so first of all, rude, and second of all, shut up. But yeah, thanks for being here. If you've been watching this, you know where to find me, but just in case, this is twitch.tv/Serasent, that's SERASENT, the House of Hubris, streaming every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 PM British time. That's 9 AM Eastern, 6 Pacific. Other time zones are very much available, but you can do your own maths, or you can just give us a follow and get notified whenever I'm here. If you do miss anything, VODs are on Twitch for 8 weeks after the fact. For everything else, there is the YouTube. Link down there says VOD Archive, or it's youtube.com/@House of Hubris. Remember the @. where you can find everything going back the last 3 years of the channel. There's a lot there. And while you're there, why not subscribe? Get hot, fresh VODs every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday right there in your subscription feed, as long as I keep them uploading, which is on the list for tonight. Again, time management. I'm great at it, honest. If you want to support me doing whatever the hell I'm doing right now financially, you can, of course, subscribe or cheer on Twitch, but you very much don't have to. Just turn up and hang out and be chill and be good to each other, and then everyone's having a good time. If you want to find me elsewhere, then links are all down there, or it's House of Hubris pretty much anywhere. At House of Hubris on Twitter, at House of Hubris at kind.social on Mastodon, at housefhubris.bsky.social on Blue Sky, where you can find me talking about all kinds of crap. You know what social media is for, but mostly my other projects, like I say, voice acting, in between season 5, season finale, dropping soon. Other things I'm in, dropping less soon, but very exciting, so check those feeds for more on that, or just Google me. It's not a common name, but one way or the other, you know, come back next time when we will continue to slay the princess and or return fragments of an infinite void entity to itself so that it may know itself more. And I've just noticed that here we have the hair texture fading into the feathers. There's a lot to be said about that, but I don't have time to say it. Yeah, join me next time for more princess slaying or not, but definitely more pretentious lit crit. And yeah, take care of yourselves in the meantime. Loved you all. Bye.